to get the heater up and running and just get some darn heat, because I'm going to make a little shelf for my Vever diesel heater to sit on. Okay, so I ran my local Fleet Farm and I found this. Now I think this is going to work out all right temporarily until I get something better. Concern I have is that I'm going to have high temperature going through the wall. The diameter of the exhaust is 1 inch. So I want to keep as much surface area away. So I think this is going to do the trick. So I ran to Menards and I grabbed myself a 5-foot piece of 3/4 PVC, a couple elbows. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the exhaust running out somewhere, somewhere about down here, okay? So I have the intake coming out here, hit the elbow. Elbow's going to come up here, drill a 1-inch hole through the wall. I am going to scavenge just a small section of this. This is the intake line to hook onto a small piece of the PVC. I'm going to throw elbows around. And then this is going to go on to the 90-degree elbow with this little piece. And then you got the filter, screw that on. So outside, you're just going to see the filter. Okay, so I've got everything for the most part set up here. I've got my power supply. I got temporarily wired up here. I'm going to get some better ends on here so I can actually directly plug it into this. Long story short, got the bracket set up for my heater. Got the line running out through the pipe there. I've got some insulation on the, got the heat wrap here on the exhaust. I have my intake line now going to a little piece of PVC, running up about 5 feet, going outside, and the exhaust is about 6-7 inches off the ground, coming out here. I'm not worried about it getting too hot. I do have a infrared thermometer. I'm going to monitor all of this stuff to make sure it doesn't get too hot, but it shouldn't. Then way up here, I've got my intake coming out. All right, turn her on. Fire in the hole. Heater's running. Hear that? That's your fuel pump. Oh, starting to blow a little long. I'm gonna go right about here. Drilled my it's a 3-inch hole. Drilled a 3-inch hole. A couple sheet metal screws in here. So very, very much similar to the Tri-Pack Evolution installations I used to do. Same type of ventilation. There we go. Can rotate it and it'll fall right off. Yes. So I ran to Harbor Freight and I picked up this Ames laser thermometer. And this thing's been running now for about a half hour. Now we're going to check out the duct temp itself. Air coming out, 155. Nice. Let's just move that up. A little bit right to there. Nice. See that? Perfect. Okay, so I've got the heater set on medium. Green, yellow, red, baby. Temperature is, what, 15 degrees? About 15 degrees. It's only 5 degrees outside. Give it an hour, see what happens. All right, so I had this thing running on medium for an hour. Could definitely tell the initial bite in the air is gone, which is nice. Temperature in here is about 20, so it went up a couple degrees. All right, let's check the exhaust temp. Wow. go on there. Now let's say 210. Okay, so I've had this on high, or excuse me, I've had this on medium for the last 2 hours in the carport. It went from maybe 20 degrees to pushing, I don't know, 28, but that's on medium. Diesels like to be hot. They run best when they're hot. We're gonna pump this thing up to max. So this is gonna be, I mean, just give you an idea of the fan blowing. Give it an hour or two, check the fuel level. Right now at just under half tank. So let's give it 1 hour. 1 hour from now I'm going to check in on the temperature of this place. So after an hour running at high, I took the cap off here. I mean, it's warmer. I mean, you definitely walk in and that bite in the cold air is gone. Temperature went from like 25 to, we got here, 32. Let's say 35. I just turned off the heater here, and one thing I did not notice though was a big draft that I got coming through here. I mean, that's just freaking cold air pouring in. Should explain why it's not getting that much hotter. Hey guys, so as far as heating the carport, this is something I'm going to pause on. Under the circumstances, I've got some things hanging off of the rafters. It's not insulated, and I've got, you know, some taller ceilings here. So all the energy that Vever heater is pumping out is actually just kind of going up in the air, obviously, because heat rises. Well, that's going to be a little bit more work than what I really want to put into at this time to warm up the garage, to work on some projects here and there. It's just not something I'm going to do. The heater itself is working phenomenal. It really is. It is a great heater. Really happy with it. It'll definitely crack the cold in the air. But like I said, in order to really get this area nice and warm, I would have to at least take the lights down, some other things I have off the rafters, and either put a ceiling in or some thick plastic wrap or something to make myself a ceiling to really help contain that heat. But that's work I'm not willing to do at this time. So we're just going to move on. I'm not scrapping the idea of down the road or possibly next winter having it set up that way. This summer and this spring and such, when it's warmer out, that'll give me the opportunity to really reevaluate what's going on in here and where we're going to be in the fall and, you know, next winter. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start actually building some simple projects. All right, guys? All right, later.